Physically, he is not showable. Genetically, he is definitely a Charlie. I've proved it time and time and time again over 2 years. But I have shown him, and he has placed like second. I mean, he's placed at the top of his class. None of the judges have DQ'd him. But now I only showed him a few times.
I'll hold this for a little bit
because I really took him to get an opinion.
Oh, I want to show all the bugs.
Okay. When I showed him, I really was paying the $3 to get an opinion. I expected him to be DQ'd, and the judges didn't do it. After 4 times, they didn't DQ him, so I quit showing him.
Do you do that sometimes?
Because to me, he's a Charlie.
When you have some and you set them out here and you pose them up and you can't make a decision, do you do that sometimes?
Oh, absolutely.
Take them, just let the judges see?
Always.
Do you how much weight you give those comments? Does it? I guess it naturally depends on the judges and how.
A lot of it depends on the judges. I do have, and we all do, and I'm not going to say names. I'm just not going to do it. But we all of us exhibitors have our favorite judges. They're judges most of the time because they pick our rabbits, and we love them because they love our rabbits.
I was really, I didn't even have one in the show at Jonesboro, and I was really impressed with the gentleman that did show B. And since you're not going to say a name, I'm not going to either.
Okay, show B, I did like that judge.
Yeah.
But
this is Bigelow. He is a grand champion.
Hey, Bigelow. I see you in light.
He had an abscess. If you look underneath his jaw, he's got this huge abscess, and it has ruptured twice.
Oh, poor
but
baby.
it's not clearing up.
It's not fly. Didn't start like fly strike or anything like that. It was just.
I don't know. I'm not sure what caused it, but it's not healing up. It keeps rupturing. Oh. It'll rupture and then deflate, and he'll get his fur back, and then it'll blow up again. Seem to be uncomfortable with it. Now, he don't want you rubbing on it.
Right.
You know, I've tried that, but it hasn't affected him. I mean, I still hasn't affected him. That's not accurate. I can still reach in and pet him.
That you can tell.
Yeah.
It's not.
He doesn't act like it bothers him too much. Now, like I said, I've reached in and I've rubbed it, and he was like, "Must you?" You know, but he didn't bite at me or hiss at me or anything like that. He was just like aspirated, like, "Okay, can you quit now?" This guy is Franz.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of story with him, right?
He's huge. I actually borrowed him for a little while. His original name was Franz, from the original breeder, and then a friend of mine, I don't think she minds if I say the name.
So you don't show through the door.
Mrs. Tactical Homesteader had him, and she called him Crosshair. If you look on his forehead, he's got that. So she called him Crosshair. But she left on the pedigree his original name is Franz. And so when I had the opportunity to bring him to my Rabbitry, I left it as Franz. So that's Franz. And this guy also came from Tactical Homesteader. I'm not sure where she got him from, but this is Dave.
Yeah.
So I've left his name as Dave.
He's blowing out clumps too.
Oh yeah.
This is a tough time of year.
Yeah, they're molting so bad. I go through and I'm just, like you see, I'm just plucking fur just everywhere. And constantly having to clean the cages. Alright, I told you I didn't put Carlisle on the breeding program yet. This little guy is the reason why.
I see.
This is one of Bazooka Joe's. It's our Bazooka Joe and Hoxie. And I'll go put him on the table and show him to you.
Okay, let it do. They won't hop out with it.
No.
Okay.
If they do, they won't go far.
Well, I find that the big ones usually won't, but like the little nether ones, those are the ones you turn your head and they're gone.
You can stay up there with you.
Huh?
Watch him not pose for me now.
I know we have, seems like all of them like to either push or lean.
That is the reason I haven't put Carlisle on the breeding program yet. I'm letting this guy grow out, and at this point, I'm thinking this guy is going to the breeding program.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got an ear.
Yep.
Ear nick.
He's been bit. But he is just, I love him.
But you're just wanting to breed
And
with him
his
though anyway. You weren't wanting to show him.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna show him.
Okay. Can you show with the ear, or does it
Yeah.
matter if it heals up or not? That doesn't stop
A
him.
lot of times, again, it depends on the judge. Most of the time, if it's something minor like that,
They won't. Okay. Well,
don't.
see, I didn't know. I'm learning.
who is it? Is it? It might have been Crossatot. Actually, I think it was Crossatot. Crossatot, I thought had a huge error in her.
And they never said nothing about
They
it.
never DQ'd her.
Where did she end up?
I ended up selling her. She
I knew
really
it.
nice though, and I liked her.
I knew back in April you said you hadn't made up your mind yet.
Yeah.
But-
She was just too skittish for my likes. And I had other rabbits I could get, so I just didn't want to deal with her.
Well, you know, they're skittish. Those are the ones that you're going to have trampling, which a lot of them will anyway, but they're the ones most likely to start trampling babies if a storm comes up or something.
Now, if you think that buck was nice, this is his brother.
Going to pose him
This
too?
one's out of Bazooka Joe and Hoxie. And this is the one I told you I was thinking about breeding to Adana.
He's not as big with the rabbits.
Yeah.
Oh, we're excited. We've been looking for this day for a long time.
Yeah, we've been planning a trip over pretty much since the spring.
Oh, wow.
I'm Dana.
I'm John.
Nice to meet you. Big Daddy Joe.
Chuck.
Right?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I'm Chuck.
Chuck.
This is Becca.
I'm Becca. Hey.
Yeah, I met him.
The mini me's running around. Oh, he's over there in the truck.
I
Okay.
told him he could feed leaves to the goats if he felt
Okay.
like he wanted to get out and do something.
Yeah, we were probably boring him. He likes rabbits, but he don't.
He don't get excited.
He can't.
like we do.
He can't stand and talk about them for.
And there's that one. And for color and
And
depth,
who did you say?
this is Bazooka Joe and
Bazooka Joe.
Hoxie.
Oh,
And the color is the one I'm thinking about breeding to Adana. And definitely showing him. And,
because he's still going to darken up.
oh yeah, I think he's a May baby. So he's only 3 months old.
Okay. Well, see, he's even
Yeah.
he's even younger than I thought he was.
He's either April or May. Or I think he's May.
We've seen two.
7.5 pounds at 5 months. Does that sound about right? That's what the little doe ended up. She's about 5.5 weeks. Or I'm sorry, 5.5 months now, and I haven't weighed her, but at 5 months she was 7.5 pounds. Does that sound about right to you?
That's pretty good. And this, of course, is Bazooka Joe.
I want to see him. That's what I want to see.
Let's see. Get out of the way. She's gonna run over you.
This is actually, I don't know what
Oh,
the
they're
deal
so
is with this
gorgeous.
guy.
He's got a
He
couple
is
of loose
a
clumps, but he's not looking too
beautiful
bad.
buck, but from the time I've had him, he's always been matted. I don't know what's up with his fur. This is the best I've seen him since like a month after I got him.
Well, you've kept some of his youngsters, and then it's not something that he passes
No, it
along.
doesn't.
It's not genetic.
It doesn't seem to be. But then he was a senior when I got him, and you know his does are all seniors, of course. But I don't have any of the senior bucks. I don't know why he does that. He is the awfulest looking rabbit ever. But body, he's beautiful.
Yeah.
And this is Pine Bluff.
Yeah, we met him.
Yep, I remember him.
Yeah. This is Pine Bluff, and he has a leg.
Does he?
Yeah, he's got one, and then I quit showing him because I can't get him in.
I was picking on
condition.
David the other night. He said he had shown against you twice and was 1-1, and I said, I think I got that win. And
And these are all babies.
Wow.
These are out of Paragould. I'm keeping BP1, BP2. I'm pretty sure it's that one there. Beautiful doe. I can't keep them both. I mean, you see my cages. I'm out, and I've got
these are
litters in there
does?
that has to be weaned. Yes, these are
Does.
does. Two for cage for
These are
does.
probably the ones you had pictures up on your Facebook the other night.
No picture of her. I didn't.
No picture of her?
Nope.
Well, you had several blacks. It could have been some younger
Yep.
ones, maybe.
No, it was these
No,
on here.
it's all these? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well, I see some more with it.
And then I've got, this is the only doe I've raised out of Helena. It's out of Bigelow, my grand champion, and Helena, who, if I would have continued showing her, I'm convinced she would have championed. But I just brought her home. It was summertime. I was done showing. And fall time, she was a year old. What was I going to do? You know, I'm going to breed her. So Helena never did grand, but I think if I would have continued showing her, she probably would have. But I kept one of her does, and I'm undecided on the black does. There's 56 and Ace. 56 granded. She earned her legs. She broke her back. So I've got one litter out of 56, and she's got 3 does, and I will be keeping one of those 3 black does. I will be keeping one of them.
How did they do that?
They just get excited. I mean, there's predators and rabbits and all kinds of sounds. Rabbits. All kinds of sounds, and they get excited and they run, and then they just break their backs. I've had 3 to do it in the years I've raised rabbits. So we had to put her down, but we kept her babies. And right now I'm thinking AF1 is going to be the one that I keep, but I don't know, all 3 of those does, the black does, are just gorgeous. I can't choose between them, so I will. 2 of them are for sale. 2 of the 3 are for sale, and before they sell, I will look at them again. And then here we have Daisy's. Like I said, Daisy has earned her grand champion, so I'm going to get her paperwork if nothing happens between now and then. And right now, I'm keeping both these does. I got to keep them. She had 2 does, and they're both just
Did you have
gorgeous.
some older ones that you're going to try to maybe let these guys replace later on? Or you just going to try to add a couple
eventually, Noble will go, because I got to get that pedigree built up. But right now, Noble, having that blue bloodline and having all those legs, looks really good on my blue pedigrees.
Right.
So now...
And not to mention, after losing Paragould and Allie, you're down blues.
Yeah, I technically only have 2 broken blue does, and one of those is that broken black, Noble and Nellie, and then their babies. But these 2 I'm showing, and then we have the other 2. Wait, no, these are out of Allie. These are the 2 does out of Allie. And then we have, this one is out of Paragould, the 2 sisters. No, this one's for sale. He's the brother to the 2 on the end. So BP2 and BP3 are for sale. She was almost...
And as far as how many kids and how well she does with them and what have you, you don't think that makes any difference?
This is her first litter, and she's got what, 5?
Well, that's not.
I think she had. I think she had 6, and she lost 1. I think. I have to look at my records, but I think.
But that's not bad for a first litter. I had a doe that had 3 her first litter, and her next litter she had 9.
Look at Helena.
8.
She had 1, her first litter and her 3rd litter, and her 4th litter.
But you said
the second litter she didn't have any.
But you said you waited till she was a year. Is she the one you said you waited?
Yeah, she was almost a year old before I started.
So that kind of takes any merit away from saying that you can breed them too young, because she was older.
I really do not recommend waiting past 9 months to breed a New Zealand.
Well,
if you breed them too young, or if they're not mature enough, then
we're not going to get to make it to a lot of shows this fall. But she wants to breed Sangria, or show sangria. But at the same time, we want babies to come off of her that we can show next spring.
Yep.
And so there's kind of a fine line there. I was thinking around the middle of October, and she's going to be 8 months old.
Now, I don't.
But we'll have to see how she's doing.
Once I start breeding, I'm done showing. But there are a lot of breeders that still show. Once they've been bred, they'll go ahead and continue showing them. I don't.
To me, it seems like when they're raising babies, it just seems like it's impossible to keep them in condition for show. But
well, I don't necessarily find that. I mean, yeah, they do lose condition, but once their kids are weaned and you let them grow on up, then they regain their condition. But I breed too frequently for that. When I don't breed, when they get their long break, it's in the heat of summer. There ain't no rabbit in condition in this 100-degree weather.
Right, and then
I don't care what you feed them or water them or what you do to them. They're not in best condition ever.
But right over there and over here, you've got so many to pick from that you can show that you don't have to really pull your brood does out of the barn and take them to the show.
Yeah.
Because you've got kids from just about every one of them that you could take in their place.
Yeah,
so.
pretty much. All right, and then these are 2 older bucks. These are 2 that you will be looking at. This is the one I think you're going to want. Beautiful buck, beautiful buck. I bet he does have that white spot on his cheek. I don't know when he developed it. It's been since the last show because he didn't have it the last time I showed him. But he was a youngster then. I mean, he was like 6.5 pounds. So
just the way he's sitting there.
Yeah, he's a beautiful buck. And I would have kept him, except I think that one over there is better. I've got 5 nice bucks right now I would not hesitate to show. I cannot afford to show 5 red bucks, plus everything else.
Right.
So,
I understand.
both of these 2 will be the ones you look at. And then the third one you'll